I'm going to show a few things that I like to do with Windows. This is Windows 8 and how I save files and how I quickly get to certain areas. This is mainly focused on court reporters, but if you're not a court reporter, maybe this will give you some ideas if you happen to come across this video. Over here in this area of my desktop, I've got a couple of shortcuts that are going to different areas. They're little folders, and of course, you know, there are several ways you can get to a folder. You can go down here to Windows Explorer and then go down and, for instance, go to your documents, and then wherever you want to go, and you can take a long way to get to somewhere. Or if you find that this is a folder that you might be visiting frequently, what I like to do is the first time I set up a new computer is I will go to that folder the first time, and then I will put my mouse right up here and click one time in this window, and you'll notice it turns blue. And then what I can do is you can either right click and copy, or of course, you know, Windows, you can just do Control C because it's already highlighted. Either way, you want to save that path, and then once you do, you can go back to your main desktop. You can right click, and then you can go down here to New. You can see where it says Shortcut. Click on Shortcut, and at this point, instead of having to go over here to Browse, which is another way you can do it the first time, but since I have already gone to that folder, I don't have to go through the process here of trying to find, okay, it was on my computers and the C drive and etc., etc. All I have to do is just put my cursor into this window right here, right click and hit paste. And then it puts the path in that I was in, but you notice it will even drop down some other things in case you needed to go further or less or whatever. But this is where I wanted to go, to this directory. So I've got that put in there, and then I click on Next. I can give it a shortcut, or you can let it default to whatever name it puts in there. But if you want to rename it, you can give it a different name in here, and something that will jog your memory so that you'll know exactly where that shortcut will take you. And then once you click on Finish, I'm not going to do that because I already have the shortcut, you'll end up with a shortcut like this. So instead of having to go through the Windows Explorer down here, I can just double click on this, and it takes me directly to that folder that I want to go to quickly. Now if you notice in here, one thing I have done is I've kind of changed the way it looks in here, in the fact that I've got everything from today at the top of the window. Now this is very handy, especially for me when I finish a hearing or something in court. All I have to do is just put my mouse at the top of that window, and I know that everything that I've messed with today is going to be at the top of the window. And so if I want to highlight today's items, I'll just one click the first item. I'll hold the Shift key, and I'll just press cursor down until I get everything that I want to get. I keep holding the Shift key down as I hit arrow up or down here, and I can get what I want to get to manipulate. Now that I've got this set up here, if I right click, I'm sure you've all seen this little Send To button, and if you were to look on your computer, you would probably see that you may not have near the number of drop downs that I do. And this is because I have added other shortcuts in my Send To folder which gives me the ability to quickly move files in a quicker fashion than having to do it perhaps the long way. Some of you, if you just plug in, say, an external hard drive, it may drop it in down here at the bottom of your window, and that's easy to do. But what I like to do is I like to back up files in two places as soon as I finish a court hearing, or even as I'm editing jobs throughout the day. And one of them is my G drive, which is Google Drive, Eclipse. And then I have SkyDrive, Eclipse over here. And these two folders these two shortcuts are the cloud. One's Google Drive, one is SkyDrive. So all I have to do is, once I've got my stuff highlighted up here, I've chosen Send To, I can click on G Drive. It's going to tell me, do I want to replace it? I'm going to say yes. So it's proceeding to put it in G Drive. I'm going to right click on it again. I'm going to do a Send To and drop it down also in SkyDrive. Now you're probably asking, well, Breck, how do you make that Send To folder have more items in it? And let me show you. I have a shortcut here to Breck Send To, and it's a good thing I do, because I can never remember the path to get to the darn thing. And so let me see if I can help you with, say, your Windows 8 computer to quickly get there. I'm going to double click here, and here is my path for the Send To area. Now I'm going to put my cursor up here, and you can see that your path is going to be probably something similar to mine. You're going to be on the C drive, users, my name, it would be probably your name, whatever name that you probably sign in to Windows with, app data, roaming, Microsoft, Windows, and Send To. Now let me see if we can maybe find it the long way. If we went over here to this window, let's try this again. Let me close it out. So we go here to Windows Explorer. We go to C drive, users, my name, app data, I believe it was roaming, and I think it was Microsoft, Windows, and then Send To. And here they are again. So you can see, if you can find this folder just one time, that's great. What I would suggest that you do, once you find your Send To folder, like I just did, luckily, go up here, put your mouse up in there, and once again, we're going to right click, we're going to copy, and save that like we did before with any other shortcut that you want. You can go down here to your main window, right click, new, shortcut, and then paste in this little Send To option path, and then you can call it, you know, Breck Send To or Mary Send To, whatever you want to call it. That will quickly get you there. Now I'm going to back out of here. I've already got my Send To folder set up. It's called Breck Send To, and I'm going to go into that window again, and you can see I'm in that same folder as before. And if you notice down here, I've got G Drive, Eclipse, and SkyDrive, Breck, Eclipse. What I did is I downloaded SkyDrive and Google Drive at one point. They're free for up to a certain amount of gigabytes, and good place to store files in the cloud if you have internet access. And I'd strongly recommend that as soon as you finish working on a file or a transcript, or even if you get up to take a break, go to the restroom, take lunch, whatever, just quickly put that file on the cloud, or even back it up to a thumb drive. Just put it somewhere so that you have backed up what you just got through editing or working on, or whether you're a court reporter or an attorney or a secretary. If you've typed up a lot of stuff in a document, save the document and then back it up. I've said this one time before, and I walked away from my laptop one time, or actually my desktop, came back after lunch, hit cursor right, and my hard drive failed. And luckily I had backed up fairly recently, only had to redo a few pages and not a complete transcript. So keep that in mind, because it will happen to you one way or the other where you'll lose stuff. So I like to have it at least two places backed up, and then my backup regime also consists of having some external hard drives that I will back up to also. Now, you can see here that, let's take for instance Google Drive. I'm going to double click in there, and I've got a path here called Breck Eclipse, and you can see I have many of my files in here. And so at one point what I did was, again, I went up here and I saved this path. I highlighted it, right click, copied it, and then once I did that and got that path saved, I'm going to minimize this screen. Let me just kind of squeeze it down a little bit here. I went over here to the Breck Send To folder, and I went into this area of that folder, and you can see I've got Google Drive Eclipse here. So at one point what I did was I went in here, I right clicked, I clicked on New, I clicked on Shortcut, and then I created a shortcut in the Send To folder, so that anytime I wanted to send something quickly over to Google Drive, I'm going to clear out this real quick. Anytime I wanted to move a file quickly and I was going to put it in Google Drive, you can see that it's much quicker if I do it using the Send To option, like I do here with Breck Eclipse. Double click in here, find the file I want, I can send it, I can send to Google Drive, and quickly it will go there. The long way, of course, we all know would have been to copy and then go back over here and it's okay, here's Google Drive, and then here's Breck Eclipse, and here's a file, and now I want to paste, and I want to paste it in, and that to me takes way too long, and I like to shorten things down. So I'm gonna close out some of these windows, and we're going to start over. So I've been editing a job, I've closed it out, and now I want to move it. And so you can see here that I've got it set up here in my Breck folder with my Eclipse files, and everything's at the top. Now you wonder, well, how does that happen? Because normally it may look a little bit different in your folder. What you can do is if you click on Name or Date Modified, you can click here and you will see it will put things in more of an alphabetical order, and the dates just go all different directions. And so if you were working on, say, something from maybe last Thursday, I'd have to go down here and you know, find, okay, let's see, 08, get into the August files, and then go down here and scroll down, or do 0823, and then find, you know, whatever I needed to find. And that's all fine and dandy. If you click on here, you can see there's a couple of different ways that the file will set up. It'll put it in name order from A to Z, or actually numbers to Z, or it will reverse it from W, and it will go in reverse order, and it should have all my other folders at the bottom. Or you can click it again, and it'll go back into the order that most folders kind of default to. Now, if you want to, you can also click on Date Modified, which is what I like. I like to have it in the alphabetical order format, but then I'll click on Date Modified. And what that's going to do is reconfigure the folder again, and it puts all the files that I have touched today at the top. And so it makes it much easier for me to remember and to find quickly any file that I have messed with today, whether it's a court file, maybe my dictionary, even my spelling dictionaries and everything within Eclipse. Anything that has today's date on it, I just grab it, shift, arrow down, and get everything for today, the 29th of August, right click on it, send to, and I send it to my folders where I want to send it. I'm going to put it back on G Drive again. I'm going to replace them again, no big deal. I'm going to send to again, SkyDrive, Rec, Eclipse. Replace them again, no big deal. Now, if you're concerned, is it working or not, you can always go down here to this little up arrow and click it one time, and you'll see right here my SkyDrive is looking for changes, if any, and my Google Drive has already finished the syncing. But that quickly my files are being adjusted to how they need to be. Now, if you wanted to, if you had say Dropbox or any other options that you backed up to other than maybe SkyDrive or Google Drive, you can just put those in, make a path in the Send To folder by first going to wherever file area that you want to put something, and maybe save that path into your Send To folder, and then you have a shortcut, and I can drop it in there to my Dropbox like I just did, and it should show me that it is uploading 5 files as it just showed in Dropbox. And so this is a very nice way, a very simple way to ensure that you're saving files and you're putting them in the right place. So let's review one more time. Any place that you find that you like to frequent, like for me, it's my Eclipse folder within my court reporting program. I have a shortcut there. I've also made a shortcut for my Send To folder because it's just hard for me to remember that doggone path. I'm going to double click on here and show you. Again, the path is crazy, but I've got my Send To folder here I'm showing now with different shortcuts that I have placed in there, and you can see I've got several, but I tend to move files around, and when I find that I'm going to be moving files frequently from one folder to another, instead of highlighting the files, copy, finding the folder, the path, or whatever, and then clicking paste, I will put them into this Send To area so that I can more easily manipulate my files. Another shortcut that I use is my scans, where when I scan documents, they always default into my scans folder, and I have a shortcut there. And so if I have stuff in here I need to look at, I've got them there. And if you notice again, I have it set up. Most of my folders are set up to where any current stuff is going to be at the top of the folder. So if I need to back up my scans for some reason, if there were some PDFs or court stuff in there that I had created recently, they're going to be at the top of the folder. And again, that's the Date Modified to where I've told the Windows folder to show me everything from most recent to less recent, and that is how I'm able to quickly see files that were just recently created. It makes it a lot easier to make sure that you back up your files. It keeps the current stuff at the top of the folder instead of burying it down through the folder by giving a different view option. And so one thing that you want to make sure of is being able that you've backed up the files you need to back up and you don't overlook one and miss one. Now let me talk one more thing about the shortcut for the Send To folder. I'm going to go the long way again. I'm going to go to C drive, users, B record. Now you see my app data is not highlighted like this one is, and there could be one little issue that you may need to make sure of, which is viewing your folders. You need to make sure that the hidden items right here is checked on, so that anything that might be quote hidden is going to show up so you can actually get to it, because it may not show up otherwise. If you don't have under view hidden items checked, it may not show up. Let's just go back and see if that's true. Let's go back here and double click on users, break record. If I uncheck that, you see how app data left and it disappeared? That might be important to make sure that you have hidden items checked on under viewing under your Windows Explorer. This is not Internet Explorer, this is Windows Explorer. And so hope that gives you some thoughts or some ideas, maybe helps you out when you're looking to back up files, and maybe I've helped you out just a little bit. And with that, I will close. Y'all have a great day.